Hello, happy 1st of December. We are here. It is time to get Christmassy. I'm buzzing for the rooftop brunch next weekend. So hi, I'm Ruth and I am from What If You Fly Mindset Coaching, and I am here to talk to you today about all things Christmas and procrastination and anxiety, and just hopefully help you to feel more compassion and calm for yourself around this time of year. And I am getting to kick off Glowmas. 10 days of Glowmas, which, yeah, just such a good lineup. So to get to be first and to get to share with you, I'm absolutely buzzing. I've got the Christmas energy, I've got the Queen energy, I've got the fierce energy, festive and fierce, and that is just what I'm all about today. So Christmas is a time, right? It's a vibe. I love Glennon Doyle. I listen to her podcast, We Can Do Hard Things. And I remember one time she talked about how Christmas is the most time of the year. You know how you've got the song, it's the most wonderful time of the year. That's really hard to get that low. Anyway, she talks about that, and she talks about how it's the most time of the year, not the most wonderful time of the year, which it can be, absolutely, but how it's the most time of the year for a lot of people. And I think what that means is whatever you've been feeling in the last little while, longer term, is what is going to be ramped up and magnified at Christmas. So if you're going along buzzing in your life in your queen energy, then that's just going to feel amazing in December. And if that's you, I'm so darn happy for you. However, if you're feeling overwhelmed at other times of the year, or even sad, perhaps grieving, then all of that is going to get ramped up as well in December. And that really landed for me. I have a lot of clients that come in and it's almost like they feel shame sometimes not to feel in the Christmas spirit. And when I say that to them, I can see that it really resonates, and they feel like where they're at and their feelings is valid. You don't have to force anything. What we resist actually tends to persist. So if we don't feel what we're feeling fully, then all that will happen is it will continue, and first the body whispers and then it screams. So it's not really going to go away. Choose discomfort now or resentment later, as Brene Brown talks about. And then the other thing that I just thought was really helpful to tell you today is what Donna Ashworth, the poet, says about Christmas. And she talks about how Christmas is a feeling, not an event. And I really had to remember that this year, actually, when I was putting up the Christmas tree. And you know, it's meant to look a certain way, but actually looking at the kids and how they were feeling, getting to put the Christmas baubles on extremely wonky places, but seeing that they were clearly in a beautiful experience was what I acknowledged, rather than maybe the tree didn't look what it's supposed to look like. I'm not sure who created that rule that it's supposed to look a certain way, but I think it's certainly something we all feel at this time of year, and that is actually one of the procrastination archetypes that I'll touch on later, the perfectionist. So I'm just going to tell you now actually about what I do. So I'm a mindset coach. I'm a Master Prac NLP mindset coach, and I've been working in this for the last 3 years, although I think I've got a lifetime of experience of navigating all of the stuff that goes around having to reframe our perspectives. Before that, I was in drama and education. So what I do is I work with clients and using expert questioning and rapport building techniques, and also what I have come to really believe are life transforming hypnosis techniques. I am able to help clients to step into their queen energy. And what I mean by that is to feel embodied in who they are, energized and empowered. And we do that by making peace with their past. So we go from limiting beliefs into empowering beliefs. And we do that through hypnosis as well. So hypnosis sometimes gets a bit of a strange reputation, let's just say. But what I love about hypnosis is that it's all about harnessing the power of the mad imagination to create change. We have so much power in how we use our imaginations, and so many of us are not using it to that effect. So I help clients to do that, also reframing their perspective so that they see their things from the past not as something that's a big stick to beat themselves up with, or a big burden that they have to carry around as an identity. You know how sometimes we wear our past wounds like an identity, but we reframe that and we see that actually maybe we can find some gold in the poo, let's say. We can find some gold in the mud, the dirt, the gunk, and take that to step into a place of acceptance about what our past story is, and maybe even gratitude. How amazing would that be? So the 4 archetypes that I would like to talk about today, the Christmas archetypes, are the perfectionist, the warrior, the thrill seeker, and the overwhelmed. Now, you might actually fall into more than one category, and that is totally fine. It's not about this being an identity. I'm really wanting to move people away from what is actually identity and what is behaviours. Yeah. So if you do identify with one of these types, it does not mean that that's completely who you are. I talk to clients a lot about not being an anxious person, but actually experiencing anxiety. We label people by their emotions all the time. A good example is actually if you talk about a shy person. Now, I can remember, and I'm sure this happened to me as well, when I would hear people talking and saying, right, say hi to your Auntie Susan, to this little child, and they're kind of like, and you're like that, you kidding on you're shy? They're no shy like this at home. Oh, I don't know why they're kidding on, they're shy today. Stop pretending you're shy, you're no shy. And it's true, they are not shy, which is this whole thing of claiming something. But right now, in this moment, they're experiencing shyness, and that's what's happening. And that shyness is giving them a message. And it's about looking at that, looking at the feeling, rather than looking at it as an identity. Because you might see that child then, you know, Saturday night, Strictly's on, and they're dancing about naked with a wooden spoon, like living their best life. Because they're not shy in that situation, because something about that situation, that environment, allows them to feel empowered, to feel confident. But when they're out for whatever reason, perhaps it's the person, perhaps it's the place, they're not able to actually access their confidence. So that's what I want to say about it when we talk about identity. So we've got those 4 procrastination archetypes. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is the perfectionist. I actually used to think that I was a could not be, a perfectionist, because how can I be a perfectionist? Because I'm not perfect. I'm clearly not perfect, so I can't be a perfectionist. I don't identify with this archetype. But that's the thing about the perfectionist, actually. The perfectionist doesn't create perfection, because the perfectionist quite often doesn't believe actually that perfection can exist, because it will never actually be it. Even if they achieve it, even if to someone else that looks perfect, to them it will never be perfect. Yeah. So I think it's about stepping into this idea that done is better than perfect. That is the mantra for the perfectionist, that it's okay to try, because there's a safety part of them, right? There's a safety part, and that's the anxious part that will send thoughts to tell the perfectionist there's no point in trying if you can't get it perfect. So what then can sometimes happen is we don't try at all. If you think about teenagers with their exams, some of them will deliberately not study, might even deliberately not sit the exam, because they think if I can't get it perfect, what's the point in trying? Yeah. So that is one, that is the perfectionist archetype. So obviously they could show up around the tree being perfect, the gifts being perfect, the dinner being perfect. It's all of these things where it's got to look a certain way, and the perfectionist would be one that was certainly very, very focused on the aesthetics, and that would be what they were thinking about more than actually the feeling, what they're experiencing as well, how they're feeling about it. Then we have got the warrior. So the warrior is all about being good enough, right? It's all about thinking, what do others think about this? Is this good enough for other people? Okay, so quite often that anxious part will actually tell you, don't do something, because what if everybody judges you? So it will pull you back into your little shell and stop you stepping out into what might feel uncomfortable, but it's empowered discomfort rather than limited discomfort. So it will hide you away and tell you not to go out and not to put yourself out there because it's not safe to do so. So that's the warrior, always thinking about, I'm not good enough, and what will other people think about this? Will this be good enough for other people? There's not a lot of intuition when we're in our warrior archetype. We're more concerned about looking at the external and getting our validation from other people rather from ourselves. So we might actually not go to the parties if we're a warrior, because we're worrying what everyone's thinking about us. We're worrying if we've got the right outfit on. If we're the warrior, we might not get involved in certain things. If we're the warrior, maybe we never host because we think that we'll just never do a good enough job of it. Yeah, that's the kind of things that might be going on with the warrior. Quite an anxious type, the warrior. Yeah, got a lot of compassion for that warrior, so I do. Then we have got the thrill seeker, the chaos maker. Sometimes they are actually connected to ADHD traits. So for them, it's all about thriving from the pressure, thriving from the deadline, always looking for the dopamine hit. So they might avoid, when it comes to procrastination and doing stuff, doing tasks, they might avoid the stuff that's kind of boring because they just think, well, that doesn't get me going, that doesn't interest me, so I'll just leave it until I feel like doing it. But the thing is, that feeling quite often doesn't come. Remember, ready is a decision, not a feeling. Yeah, so they might just all of a sudden be the one that you'll see on Christmas Eve, maybe even Christmas morning, I'm not sure, flying about the shops trying to get all this last minute stuff because they've just gone, I've got time, because they don't have that feeling of the dopamine that they need to move. Yeah, a really good technique for the thrill seeker is to use body doubling. Body doubling is your friend. Okay, so body doubling basically means that somebody is in the room with you while you're doing a task. I'm gonna have to stop and have a little drink of tea because I've been talking for 13 minutes and my voice is going hoarse. Yes. Maybe while I'm having a little cup of tea, just like post something in the comments if you're resonating with any of these archetypes, if this is making sense. It would be great to hear. Oh, that's lovely. It's a little relaxed pucker. I'll have a little herbal tea. Where was I? Body doubling. Yes. So with body doubling, basically, you can have someone else in the room with you, not doing the task, but just them being in the room makes you motivated to do it. So say you've got wrapping you want to do, or Christmas cards you want to write, or I don't know, even make a to-do list. If you just ask someone to sit in the room with you and tell them, I'm just going to make my to-do list now, you're far more likely to do it than if you're on your own, right? If you're that thrill seeker and you need that dopamine hit. I know this to be true, right? Because I hate emptying the dishwasher. But see, if my kids are sitting at the table, I will empty that dishwasher so much easier if they're sitting having their breakfast than if I'm on my own and I've got to do that job. I don't know what it is about it, but this is a thing, and I can assure you they are not helping me. So it's not about the person actually having to help you, they just have to be there. You can use it online as well. There's whole body doubling groups now, accountability groups. You can just have a person that you text to tell them. You can be on video at the same time. I've heard it even works with pets. Go figure. Mad, right? But actually it's true. Then we have got the overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. Just like there's just stuff everywhere. There's just stuff everywhere. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to go. So with the overwhelmed, it tends to be task paralysis. Okay, is the thing that can come into play where we just freeze because we're just like, I don't know where to start. So I'm just not going to start because I'm too overwhelmed. A really cool thing is the Eisenhower matrix for the overwhelmed, okay? And what the Eisenhower matrix is it's basically a grid, and it gets you to sort your stuff into 4 main boxes. So you've got things that are important and urgent, which is your do category. You've got things that are important but not urgent, which is your decide category. You've got things which are, let me try and get this right, not important and urgent, which is your delegate. You can give these ones to other people. And you've got your not important, not urgent, which is delete, right? So if you look at some things, is there anything that you can drop the ball on right now? If we can talk about glass balls and rubber band balls, which yes, I actually had to talk about to S4s the other day and got a lot of laughs about dropping rubber band balls and how they bounce. Your rubber band balls, I think was actually what I said. If you drop your rubber band balls, they bounce. They find that funny. So yeah, but you've got your glass balls, which are the ones that if you drop them they break. That's the things that have to keep going. You can't give them up. But are there some things that if you drop them right now, they would bounce back later on? I don't know. Maybe there's a deadline you can extend. Or can you delegate? Can you give stuff to someone else? Like, yeah, it still needs to get done, but is there someone else in the house that you can be like, can you do this job, please? I've got too much on my plate. Ask for help. No man is an island. We all need each other. And actually, people need to help too. We need to give people the opportunity to help because that actually gives them the experience of feeling self-esteem, right? And if we do esteemable acts, that is when we feel self-esteem. So don't feel you have to take it on your shoulders. See it like that. You're actually doing them a favour if you ask them for help. Yeah, whether that's, I don't know, kids, partners, friends, parents, whoever you've got around you. Colleagues even maybe. So that's really, really important as well. So since I've explained to you the 4 archetypes, I've got a little quiz that I'm going to ask you to have a little go at now. Now remember, you can be more than one for this. So the first one, the first question, so this will help you to decide if you haven't already identified it, but I think you probably have. If you haven't already decided what archetype you potentially might be, this will help you, okay? So, first question. When you think about preparing for Christmas, your first thought is A, it has to be absolutely perfect. B, what if I forget something important? C, I'll get to it when the excitement hits. Or D, there's too much to do. I don't even know where to start. It's A, or question 1. 2, your gift buying style. A, I research the best possible gift for each person. B, I worry people won't like what I choose. C, I buy gifts last minute because the rush motivates me. Or D, oh, I keep putting it off because it feels overwhelming. 3, wrapping presents for you is A, a craft project that must look magazine worthy. B, stressful because I'm afraid I'll mess it up. C, something I do at midnight on December 24th. D, something I forget about until gifts are needed. 4, how do you feel about Christmas cooking, baking? I'll show you in my socials a picture of the gingerbread men we made the other day. The kids had a ball, but they were not perfectionist gingerbread men. Okay, so how do you feel about it? It must look and taste flawless. B, what if it burns? What if there's not enough? What if it's a classic with the the worrier. Anything about anxiety, what if tends to be the thing. That's actually why the business is called What If You Fly. It's because there's a quote which is, what if I fall, but my darling, what if you fly? And it's reframing our what if fears that live in the future connected to anxiety to something empowering. Anyway, sorry. So B, what if it burns? What if there's not enough? C, I'll freestyle a day off. D, too many recipes, too many ingredients. No. 5, your home decorations go up. A, only after I've planned the perfect aesthetic with theme. B, after I overthink which decorations to use. C, whenever the spontaneous urge hits. D, after I've procrastinated for weeks. And we'll do one more. Okay, one more. You buy Christmas cards, A, early, then rewrite them 3 times. B, overthink what to write once you've bought them. C, you buy Christmas cards but forget to send them. Anyone done that and then finds Christmas cards from last year that they never used? D, you buy Christmas cards but lose them in the clutter. So A, you buy Christmas cards early, then rewrite them 3 times. Buy Christmas cards but overthink what to write. B, C, you buy Christmas cards but you forget to send them. Or D, you buy Christmas cards but lose them in the clutter because you're overwhelmed. There's so much stuff, so many piles, a lot of piles with the overwhelmed. Piles with nowhere to go. So, your Christmas motto, based on what archetype you fall under. A, if you're going to do it perfectly. B, better to be safe than sorry. C, deadlines, I thrive under pressure. Did I say D there? C, deadlines, I thrive under pressure. D, can someone else handle this? Okay, so if you are A, the Christmas perfectionist, you procrastinate because everything must be flawless. Your high standards make tasks feel too big to start until pressure forces action. B, the worrier, you put things off because you're anxious about getting them wrong. Your mind jumps to worst case scenarios which slows everything down. C, the thrill seeker, you get energised right before the deadline. You chase the adrenaline of last minute Christmas chaos, and honestly, it kind of works for you. No, kind of. There's still balance in there. And D, there's so much to do that you freeze. You're not lazy, you're overloaded. Once you break things into small steps, you shine. Okay, so let's now talk about what each of these procrastination archetypes comes when they become empowered. So the perfectionist, they become the vision queen. Okay, the vision queen. The mantra, done is better than perfect. What I create is more than enough. Then we've got the warrior. They become the intuition queen. I trust myself. Every small step is safe, steady progress. I am enough because I exist. See, the thrill seeker. They become the momentum queen. Their mantra, I move with energy and joy. Action creates my magic. D, the overwhelmed. They become the harmony queen. I do one gentle step at a time. Peace leads my way forward. How beautiful is that? Just love that. And creating little pockets of peace where you can. I've got a mindset coach myself actually, and that is that's what we've been working on with me, is creating pockets of peace. So trying to get in 10 minutes of meditation a day, where I just sit and just let the peace come in, and it is really, really beautiful, the clarity that can come in with that, and how you can approach your day so differently if you're able to take that time for yourself, whether it's meditation, journaling, exercise, anything where you are getting some time to connect with you. So I hope that was helpful. Tell me if it was, if you like that. There's actually 6 procrastination archetypes that I use. So if you're interested, I can send you the other 2. Also, if you're interested in these parts, and the anxious part and the confident part and how they kind of show up, I've got a little freebie at the moment, which is a video of me talking about both of these parts, and I've got a worksheet as well, so you can identify your own parts. This is what I use in sessions with clients. It is tried and tested, and it works. It's kind of the prelude before I do the hypnosis. So if you want to do that, it's on my website, and I will share a link to my website as well. It would be so great to have you as part of the What If You Fly community. It really, really would. So I've actually got a little bit of time left, which is wonderful. So I'm going to just finish by doing a little visualisation with you. I'm going to guide you through something. I'm going to see if I can get some music actually on my phone. I'm not sure if this will work, but we'll try and put it on anyway. Let's see if that will work. I have no idea if you can hear this or not. Hopefully you can. Okay. Take a big breath in. Release. And again. When we're dealing with anxiety and tension and stress, using your breath and making sure the out breath is longer than the in breath will help you to connect to your parasympathetic nervous system, reassuring you you're safe and you do not have to be in fight or flight. So I want you to just close your eyes for me or lower your gaze, and I want you to just start to notice sounds around you. Perhaps you notice sounds like traffic, maybe sounds of nature. Just let your attention drift outside this room, whatever room you're in, outside the building, if you're inside. I want you to just let your ears drift to the farthest away sound you can hear. Beautiful. No judgment, just simply noticing. And then I want you to bring your attention inside this room, your room, whatever room you're in. You might notice whirring of machines, perhaps there's movements or voices, music, and of course my voice. And I want you to just let your ears drift to the closest sound you can hear. Notice your body supported by wherever you're sitting. Perhaps you're lying down. Noticing any tingles in your feet. If your hands are making contact with any part of your body. Noticing your breathing slowing down and deepening as you completely relax. You might even be able to notice the air lightly touching the tips of your nostrils. As you breathe in and out. In and out. Beautiful. Notice your tongue and your mouth relaxing. Your eyes and the eye sockets relaxing. You may even be able to notice the lightweight, almost imperceptible, of your hair lightly touching your skin. or a piece of jewellery lightly touching your skin. And now that you are completely relaxed, I want you to find yourself in a beautiful place in nature. Perhaps it's a forest with lush green trees, beautiful pool of water, sounds of nature, birds. Perhaps it's a beach with golden sand, waves lightly lapping at the shore. Perhaps it's a garden full of your favourite flowers. Maybe a field of golden sunflowers. Perhaps it's a loch with mountains in the background, reflected. Or perhaps it's a beautiful place that you've created, which I have not yet mentioned. Know that whatever it is for you today, it's absolutely perfect. And I want you to move through this place. Notice the colours, the scenery. Notice if there's anyone with you. Maybe a person, maybe an animal, a spirit guide. Notice if there's any sounds that are familiar, any smells, nature smells, a fragrance, you know. Noticing anything you can reach out and touch, how that feels. And perhaps there's even a taste of air or something on the breeze. I want you to walk through this place until you see a tree, a beautiful, wise oak. Kind of as a golden light around it. I want you to move towards this tree and I want you to put your hands on it. And as you do, you notice that it opens. And there's a little stairway reveals itself inside the tree with the most lush carpet you've ever seen. You might even want to take your shoes and socks off so you can feel it on your feet. I want you to go down the steps. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you go down, you start to notice the further down you go, the more relaxed you're getting. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I want you to notice that at the bottom there's a cosy room with a beautiful armchair and a fire, a beautiful log fire. And you feel like so inviting. You sit down on this chair. And as you do, a screen appears. And on this screen, you see a picture, a video from a Christmas from your past, from when you were a child. A Christmas memory that evokes a sense of joy or peace. And I want you to notice that nothing about that memory screams aesthetic or theme or perfection or plans or organisation. It is just a beautiful feeling that your younger self is in. Just watch. I want you to just breathe that in and connect to that feeling of joy. And know that you're enough to create this joy at Christmas this year. Not because of what you do, but because of who you are. And then I want the screen to just turn off, and another video reveals itself. This time it's you. Christmas this year, when you've decided to step into your empowered queen self. And I want you to feel those queen energies circle around you. The vision queen, the intuition queen, the momentum queen, the harmony queen. As you watch yourself letting go of all the perfection and expectation and just having joy with those who are significant to you. As you watch that, feel the crown being placed on your head by these queens as they circle you in love and acceptance, serenity. Watch that movie play out of what a Christmas can look like this year if you just cut yourself some slack. And then the screen stops, switches off. The queens leave, but the crown is still on your head. I'm going to touch your head and know that whenever you're doubting that you're enough this Christmas, these queens are here with you. And everything is exactly as it should be. Leave this place, get out of the armchair. You go back up the steps, feeling that beautiful carpet again. Counting the steps. 1, 2. Feeling that crown in your head. You might even feel a cloak around you. 3, 4, 5. It's your favourite colour that reminds you that you're a queen and you have full permission to step into your queen energy this Christmas season and from now on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Notice your breathing again. Notice your feet on the ground or where they make contact with the furniture. Noticing my voice, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I've gone a wee bit over. My plan was 30 minutes and it's 39, but thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. Wear that crown. You deserve it. You're amazing. And if you've loved what I've done today, if you've resonated with anything I've talked about, please reach out for a very informal introductory chat and we can see if it's right for us to work together. I do one-to-ones at the beautiful Nest, and that's on a Monday, and I also offer online as well. All the information is there in my socials and on the website. I'm sending so much love to you this Christmas season, and I'm pure buzzing to see some of you at the rooftop brunch, and just cannot wait to see the rest of what Glowmas has to offer. What if you fly this Christmas season? Do it, and you'll give others permission to do it too. Mwah. Merry Christmas.